All right, sorry for the technical difficulties. Having a few issues here with this new system, but we're ready to go now. All right. For this week, we've got a typical summertime conditions expected through the week. No real changes in the forecast from what we've been seeing for the past few days. Excuse me. We do have a frontal system that'll be coming in here over the next couple of days, and it will be bringing in a marginal and a slight risk of severe thunderstorms, especially to north and northwest Georgia. But that's typical for this time of year. Best chances for thunderstorms will be focused along the frontal boundaries that we're expecting across the area, and temperatures near what we've been seeing, near normal 80s to 90s across North Georgia, and lower to mid 90s across central Georgia. Heat indices are not expected to reach heat advisory criteria or warning criteria. So basically, continuing on with what we've been seeing for the past week or so.
For this week, we're expecting.
All right, here we look at our current conditions. This was as of about 30 minutes ago. We did have a few showers that are beginning to pop across central Georgia and some across the eastern portions of the state, but they're mostly focused right along where the old frontal boundary that sort of stalled across central Georgia about 2 days ago. And that frontal boundary has just been sitting there for a while. So it's just about weakened and washed out across that area. But we still have that boundary there that's basically a focusing mechanism for showers and thunderstorms. Here we can take a look at our current conditions on the today part you're looking at here. You can see that old boundary I was just talking about is laying almost basically right across the Macon area. And it's not expected to move much over the next 24 hours or so, maybe just a little bit further south. You can see here on Friday, a little bit further south, moving into South Georgia. But that's mostly because the next frontal system is beginning to move south and east out of the Central Plains, Great Lakes states. You can see on the Friday time frame the cold front that's moving out of Missouri and Illinois. By Saturday, it will be down into Kentucky, Tennessee, and moving into northern Mississippi, with that old frontal boundary that was laying across central and south Georgia beginning to move back northward as a warm front. So with this frontal boundary then beginning to move, it then puts us in a little bit more favorable area for possible severe weather on Friday and Saturday. So then into Sunday, the frontal boundary then pushes into North Georgia. Just still should be north of the Atlanta area on Sunday, but then it begins to weaken as it continues to move south across the state into Monday. And it looks like it'll stall somewhere around the Macon area, very similar to the current front that is over us right now. So by Monday and Tuesday time frame, that frontal boundary that would have brought the possibility of some increased possibilities of severe weather for excuse me, for Friday and Saturday will then be stalled and weakening rapidly through Monday and Tuesday. Let me show you what our current outlooks are. Today looks like our current outlook. Okay, there we go. We are just in a general thunderstorm outlook for today. We have just expecting, like we've had for the past few days, strong gusty winds, frequent lightning, and locally heavy rain. Looks like as we get into
As for our
Friday, where is my Friday?
As for our convective outlook, we are looking
I'm having some more technical difficulties here, and I'm not sure what's going on. Friday. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go for Friday. We're looking at marginal risk moving into northwest Georgia, and you can see that slight risk pulling down into Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Whitfield County. Barely getting into our extreme northwestern counties there. Looks like the main threat will be strong gusty winds, frequent lightning, locally heavy rain, and some hail. There is the chance of an isolated, and I do mean isolated chance of a tornado but right now it does look like the best chance for any stronger winds will be just strong, straight line, gusty type winds with any of the thunderstorms that develop as this thing moves in. Okay, as for Saturday, we're looking at that frontal system will be continuing moving through the area, and we basically end up with marginal risk across almost our entire area. Almost every single county that we have under our county warning area will be under this marginal risk, except for our extreme southern counties, which continue to be in a marginal risk because the front won't be that far south at that point. So again, strong gusty winds, frequent lightning, locally heavy rain, and hail will again be the threats for Saturday, just like Friday. Okay, looking at for the next 7 days, the rainfall forecast, we're looking at a total of 1 to 2, possibly 3 inches over the next 7 days. We're just basically going to stay in this pattern. Once that next front comes down and stalls somewhere over central Georgia, we're going to continue with these showers and thunderstorms every day, basically starting up around 2 o'clock in the afternoon and continuing through about 10 p.m. or so. And should be dropping ½ an inch to an inch unless you get under one of these stronger storms that just doesn't move too much. It may drop a little bit more rain. But overall, for the next 7 days, we're looking at 1 to 3 inches across the area. Looking at our maximum temperatures, this is just today's highs is what we're looking at, but these are also going to be very similar to the next 7 days. So looking at highs basically in the 80s to 90s across the area. For your morning lows, these are the morning lows for tomorrow morning. But again, just like the high temperatures, these are going to be very similar with highs in the upper 60s to 70s across the north and lower 70s to middle 70s across central Georgia. For our 6 to 10 day outlook, we're looking at, on the left-hand side, you have precipitation. On the right-hand side, you have temperature. So basically, from about day 6 to 10, we're looking at or slightly above normal precipitation chances for our area. And same thing with temperatures. We're looking at temperatures near or slightly above normal for our area. We do have a little bit across North Georgia, just slightly below normal is what we're expecting for the 6 to 10 day outlook, but that's just barely below normal. So temperatures will still be basically in the 80s during the day and 90s during the afternoon. I'm sorry, 80s and 90s during the day, 60s and 70s at night. For the tropics, we are not expecting anything. We don't have anything out there right now, and we're not expecting anything to form over the next 5 days. So for right now, it looks like the tropics are fairly quiet. For our hydrological outlook, we don't have anything in flooding right now. Everything is calm for right now. But like I was saying earlier, with any stronger storms that do develop and maybe stay over a localized area, there is still a risk for some flash flooding and possibly some river flooding, but we will handle that on a case-by-case basis as things develop over the next 7 days or so. And in summary, continued summertime conditions expected this week. No real changes in the forecast from what we've been seeing for the past week or two. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s during the day, and heat indices are not expected to reach any critical thresholds. And again, no issues in the tropics. So if you need to give us a call or reach us through any one of our social media platforms, here's all of our information. And I will go ahead and open it up for anybody